Yeah, I'm coming up here doing another video today. Thought I would share what happened. You're gonna love this. Yes, I heard back from the doctor's office. Not in the way that we were thinking. I just felt something was wrong. I've been feeling it all week. And did hear from them, but it wasn't them canceling the appointment or whatever because of the check-in process. Uh, it was to call to let me know that the person who administers the breathing tests is no longer available on Thursdays. I'm like, okay. So when is the next available appointment? I've had to wait 2 months for this appointment. And they come back and they tell me, oh, well, I guess we're going to have to cancel your doctor's appointment at the end of the month also because the doctor that I was seeing is no longer with the company. Go ahead. I'm like, okay. So when's the next available appointment? Explain to them again. I had to wait 2 months for this appointment. Well, the next available appointment we have is September 16th. I'm like, I have a doctor's appointment that day. Do you have something else available? She looks. Next available is October. And either way, with the doctor, with being able to see the doctor again, we were looking at end of October into November. I'm like, I've been through hell these last 2 months. We've got to do something. I'm sorry, that's all we have available. I'm like, you know what? Go screw yourselves. I'm done. I didn't tell her to go screw herself. I just told her, you know what? Forget it. I'm done. And hung up. That's ridiculous. And unfortunately, I did do my yoga today. I was a good girl. And yes, see that? It's hot cocoa in there. Damn straight. Damn straight. So, I'm going to get me a sip. Mm. So I got back on the phone with my GP. And of course, all I can do is leave them a message to see about possibly getting another referral. I am so done. There's a couple things that have been going through my brain uh, this week, too. Um, a couple things that have been, well, one thing that was told to me when I first moved here 19 years ago. And I was shopping around for car insurance. And the one of the agents I spoke with had said something to me that has stuck with me over the years. He said, Vegas is known for a lot of things, but not for cheap car insurance. And that has stuck with me, especially with going through all the medical stuff, not just with myself, but also when I was going through it with my mom. And it's like, yeah, um, Vegas and Vegas is known for a lot of things, but not good quality health care. And this is proof. And I've been through it. And another thing that's been going through my brain, something that my mom from the afterlife basically uh, has had spin around in my brain quite frequently over the years, especially since the car accident. She's like, look what this city has done to you. You need to leave. And I'm getting more. It's like, in many ways, I love it here. Don't get me wrong. But I also, I wonder, I've wondered if maybe I, try a different part of the state, wondering if it's same all over. From what I've heard from people, it's a lot of the same things. Part of it, one person had told me, and I don't know if this is true or not, but from what this one person had told me, apparently there's this law in this state where you can't sue doctors for malpractice, even if they kill you. Um, and it's one of the reasons why we attract such poor quality health care. So, um, and like I said, I don't know if that's true or not, but from the experiences that I have seen and everything, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised. And I don't know. And that raises the big question, because I also think about, things that I went through with my mom when we were living back in Virginia, you know, some of the same bullshit and everything. It's like, where do you go? Move to a foreign country? Move to Canada or something? Well, I've heard that isn't the greatest either. There can be just as long wait times, if not longer wait times, to get in for testing or what have you. Excuse me. So, yeah, that's what I was saying, with the other day, when I know I was being a bit of a Debbie Downer, but in many ways, with looking, how things keep getting streamlined and so forth, and doing the reference back to that one episode of Star Trek Voyager and so forth, there's a big disconnect that keeps happening. And unfortunately, it's getting worse, with corporatized and so forth. I mean, it wasn't too long ago where you could have an individual doctor. I'm not talking about, specialists or I understand, the whole point of specialists and so forth. But what I'm talking about, excuse me, I know my camera's going a little funky here. I hope it's not recording like this. What I'm talking about, there, it seems to be better, is, you have a family doctor, and you've been to him for years and years and years, and even generations, and so on and so forth, it's gone. I hate to say it, trying to be able to go and see an individual doctor anymore. You can't do that. It's like you have to go and see a nurse practitioner, or if it's the doctor is part of a corporation now, and and trying to get in, a phone call in to make an appointment takes an eternity. It's like, I understand, that there's a lack of personnel and so forth. I get all of that. I understand all of that. But there's still that disconnect. It's with systems that are being put in place, it's causing disconnects. And it's like, and unfortunately, it doesn't matter. We can all sit back and we can blame it on the bureaucrats. We can blame it all on the politicians and so forth. But the ones who we really have to blame is ourselves, because we're the ones who are allowing this to happen. Unfortunately, that's what's bad. And as long as we all keep pointing fingers and doing the blame games, nothing's going to happen unless we all start stepping up and saying, this is intolerable. Things need to change. I don't know what the solution is. Obviously, putting new people into office or what have you isn't a solution. Because if everybody's going to be sitting around bickering all the time because everybody's going down party lines or whatever the case may be, nothing's going to ever get done. And I'm not trying to turn this into a political thing or anything. Believe me, it isn't. What I'm trying to say is that it's us who has to make changes by going into, if something isn't right, and you know it's not right, stand up against it. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about protests. I'm talking about when you walk into, like what happened with me the other day, and I went down, I had made the arrangements ahead of time with with my insurance company to go down to the pharmacy to pick up a stupid COVID test, and then I got a frickin' runaround. Them claiming I have to go back to a doctor and have them, because this is the policies that are in place and so on and so forth. I'm like, get on the phone to the insurance company. They've already pre-approved. Oh, we can't do that. Guess what I did? I took my stand and I got on the frickin' phone and I called the insurance company and they're like, no, that's not the way it is. They got on the phone to the pharmacy and they got it done. All because of a frickin' COVID test. It's this sort of things that we have to start taking stands on. I realize it's small victories, it's small things and so forth, but they add up to the big things that we're dealing with what I just had to deal with today. That's what it amounts to. And unless we all start taking those stands and letting the powers that be know we're not going to tolerate anymore. Yeah, a song just went through my head. I'm not going to take it anymore. I believe it's Twisted Sister. If I got the copyright wrong, I apologize. But you know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. That's what it boils down to. That's what it is that we need to start doing. Setting those boundaries. First, of course, developing that self-love so that way you can set those boundaries, realize what those boundaries are, and stick with them and assert them. I realize that there has to be policies and so forth in place. Ooh, just had a little Tasmanian devil go through. Love them. That's one of the reasons why I stay in the desert. I love things like that. It's so cool. But anyway, my point is, that's what I'm talking about. Okay? I mean, if we can get better people in office to make changes and so on and so forth. And don't go down party lines. Okay? Give me a break. Obviously, that system ain't working either. What we need is start doing things on the individual level. Start standing up for ourselves. Start standing up for our rights, and sticking with our boundaries. I realize I'm calling for chaos and change. Not many people like that. But the changes that are happening, this isn't good. It's killing people. Good people. If you're fine with that, be my guest. I'm not. Yeah, there goes my glucose alarm. All right. Just think about it. Think about what I'm telling you. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's hard. But you know what? It'll be worth it in the end. Those changes will be worth it in the end. It lets people know this is fucking bullshit. You need to change. All right. Anyway, so yeah, no breathing test tomorrow. And I'm going to get back over here, enjoy my hot cocoa. That's probably a little cold now. But you know what? All hail hot cocoa and chocolate. Love you all. Talk to y'all later.